The Haley O Show. Every Friday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Only on balls.co.za.
To the Haley O Show on a Friday morning. We've had some great guests in studio already this morning, and we've got Vanessa Haywood and Nick Sadlier, who's at the IPL, coming up. So let's give Vanessa a call now and see how she's feeling after her second Cape Epic. She is busy traveling, so hopefully she can answer.
Hello, Vanessa speaking.
Vanessa, hi. It's Haley Owen here at Balls Visual Radio. How are
Hi.
you?
I'm fine, and you, Haley?
Good. Thanks for making yourself available to chat to us this morning.
Oh, it's only a pleasure. Thanks so much for having me on the show. I actually haven't been on the show before. So it's quite cool.
For a sporting machine like you, I'm surprised you haven't been on Balls before. My gosh. Where are you at the moment? Apparently you're traveling.
No, I'm in Cape Town, but I've just got a bit of a hectic day, so I'm all over the place.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll just make it quick. We just wanted to chat to you post the epic and see what you've got on your plate coming up in the next little while. The epic might seem like years ago now, but are you back on the bike?
Officially, as of today, yes. I was a bit sick, so I've had to rest and also just get myself mentally right again. The last few days of Epic nearly killed me, so mentally I just had to regroup.
Sure.
It's hectic the way it affects you. It really is very hectic.
Mentally as well, hey?
Yeah.
And when you say you recover, is it just kind of taking it easy and not riding and not thinking about that kind of thing for a while?
Yeah, generally one should have active recovery, so you should sort of cycle every second day for like an hour and just keep your legs going and spinning and, keep the fitness up. That's generally what one should do, but I got flu, but just after Epic, but I suffered from acute asthma over the last 3 days.
Yes,
that's why I say it nearly killed me. The first 5 days were incredible. It was really awesome.
Okay.
And then the last 3 days, I haven't had an asthma attack in like 20 years.
I was going to say, do you usually suffer from asthma, or did this just bring it about?
I haven't had an attack in 20 years, but a lot of people suffered because of the very fine powdery dust. It's an area that's just got that red dust,
sure,
but it's almost like powder.
Yeah.
And everybody was inhaling tons and tons of the stuff, because you can imagine 1,200 riders are going to kick up a lot of dust.
Wow, of course.
And, and so by Friday, like 3 days before the end, my chest was finished.
So is that then you're just struggling to breathe and you have to stop and pull over?
I was rushed off to ICU. I had a
really?
blown asthma attack.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then
I was in hospital.
And you riding as a team, so how does that all work?
Well, I only had the asthma attack at the end of the day, which is what sports-induced asthma does. It affects you 5 to 10 minutes when you start your exercise, or 5 to 10 minutes after you finish your exercise.
Oh, that's interesting.
And that's exactly what I've got. I've got sports-induced asthma. So as I crossed the finish line on the Friday, I had a really bad asthma attack, and that's when they rushed me to hospital. So I just spent the rest of the day in hospital on the Friday, and I just had to pull myself towards myself and then make my way back to my camper van that evening.
Wow, so you were back on the bike on Saturday?
Get going the next day, yeah. The doctors actually wanted to see me for lung function tests on a Saturday morning, because they weren't sure if they were going to let me ride. But I just bunked it. I didn't go. I just I had a feeling I was like, nothing's going to stop me from finishing this race.
You must have got a fright, though.
I got a big fright. I've never had such a bad asthma attack. The ones I had when I was younger were very mild. And this was a proper, full-blown, like, I can't actually breathe, eyes rolling back in my head type of thing. It was super scary.
Wow,
and then on Saturday as well, I had on the course, I had another really bad asthma attack, but luckily the doctor had given me a inhaler at the hospital the day before. And Michael Mole was my partner, so he's a doctor.
So that helps.
Obviously got me Yeah, because I was on my back and I was gone. I was really battling. And
Wow.
he got me to sit up and he gave me my inhaler and got me to relax, because the worst thing is you panic
Oh, okay.
and then it makes it worse.
So, and then
then
you
you
got
really
back
have
on your
to
bike.
just
Once
take-
you recovered, you got back on your bike and carried
Yeah,
on.
I just had to carry on. Yeah, I didn't have
Wow.
a choice.
Wow. Jeez. Well,
And
congratulations
that's
on
what-
finishing.
Thank you.
Your
thank
second.
You. But
This is
that's
your
what killed me,
second.
man. Yeah.
And it
Yeah,
just
it's
took
my
its
second
toll
one.
on you mentally, you were saying.
Yeah, it was quite a mind. Yeah, you know what word I want to use.
Yes.
It's yeah, really hectic. You know, pushing my body that far, and it was just I've never ever suffered like that before over those last 3 days, and having to just literally flick a switch and just switch off completely and put my head down and just go.
Wow. Wow.
So
Well,
the enjoyment unfortunately went out the window for the last 3 days.
until
But
you
at the same
finished.
time, until I finished, and then I can't say I regret any of it or that it was horrible or whatever, because it's part and parcel of the actual race, part and parcel of endurance racing, and also it's taught me so much about myself and other
Really?
people.
And last
I can't
time,
say for 1 second.
when you rode, did you
Eh?
have any of these, any problems like this?
No, not at all. So
Sure.
it's really, but that being said, we didn't have nearly as much dust
I
last
was.
year. I mean, it was dusty.
Oh, but it wasn't
But
as dusty
this
as
year
this
was
year.
like clouds and clouds and clouds and days and hours of dust, you know, so...
I was watching the finish of the Cape Epic, and I mean, people come over the finish line with broken collarbones and broken fingers and broken wrists. It really is. People just have this determination to get that race finished.
Yeah, the tenacity, and you learn so much about the human spirit when you're a part of that race, and just like the tenacity and the chutzpah that people have. Yeah, the people are pretty awesome, hey? And you'd be surprised. Like, I think a lot of people laugh at me knowing I've done Epic, and they go, "Oh, I could never do that. I'd never do that." And
That's what I'm
you'd be
saying.
surprised. Yeah, but you'd actually be surprised. Because
Really?
somebody told me 5-6 years ago, you're going to do the Epic, I would have laughed at them.
Really?
And, yeah, you'd be surprised at how far you can push yourself, and that little bit of craziness and it lies within everybody.
Wow.
You
And
just got to find it.
yeah, you just got to find it. And you were riding with the ABSA team this year, and was that a good experience? Was there a lot of spirit on your team?
Yeah, I rode with them last year and this year.
Oh,
and
okay.
It's a huge honor to be a part of their team. It's like their celebrity team that they put together every year, and there's usually 5 teams. This year they had 6.
Okay.
And they take care of everything.
Oh,
They
what a
are
pleasure.
unbelievable. They treat you like royalty. It's such a pleasure, because it is an incredibly expensive race to be a part of.
Oh, okay.
When you're a part of it, you quickly understand why, though. I mean, you pay for what you get. It's a massive event, and logistically speaking, there's a hell of a lot that goes on and a hell of a lot that goes into it.
Okay.
And you pay for what you get. But it is an expensive race. And I mean, without ABSA, I would never have had the opportunity to do it last year or this year. And I mean, they provide us with coaches. I mean, I've met my coach through ABSA,
Okay.
Eric Green, and I use her all the time now.
Oh, Jesus. So that, yeah,
and-
real pleasure to have them on board.
Yeah, no, they're really supportive, and they do training camps with us. This year we did 2 training camps with us, so they make sure you're on par with your training and with all of that. And yeah, photo shoots, and they give us kit, and they organize lots of media for us, and take us to the route launches all over the countryside. And
Amazing.
we went up to the gala dinner earlier this year. They're just unbelievable.
You must feel like a professional athlete. I mean, do you consider yourself a professional athlete in any way?
Well, I actually am semi-professional now. I have been since late last year, and I
Okay.
say semi-pro because I earn a portion of my income from mountain biking.
Okay, so do you
So I
enter
have
some
sponsors,
races as
I
a
have-
pro and some as an amateur?
I would enter. I mean, I've got a UCI number,
Okay.
but I would never enter as a pro because I don't race as an elite pro.
All right.
I race as an amateur, but I do earn an income from mountain biking. I have sponsors, and they take care of a lot. They're unbelievable. I've got KTM and Cycle Lab are my sponsors,
Oh, amazing.
and they are fantastic. They honestly are like my dream givers. I mean, riding bicycles for a living, trust me, is
Expensive.
the life.
Oh, and
awesome.
it's the life.
It's tough because it requires a lot of training, and you've got to put the hours in, and also just socially, you've got to mingle with people within the sports industry, other mountain bikers, and so it's hard work. It's by no means a walk in the park, but it's fun.
I can see. I follow you on Twitter, and it always seems like you and Ryan and is it Tundi, your dog, are always going to some beautiful places and non-stop racing. And it does sound like the life. I haven't quite got into cycling, but I've got into running recently, and I love on the weekends just going from one race to another.
We have such a joy, the three of us, and we try and take Tundi with us wherever we can. We're like constantly looking for pet-friendly places.
What kind of dog is Tundi?
She's a little bit of everything.
Oh, okay.
Part rhino, part giraffe, part spaniel, part sausage dog. I don't know.
And
she's a rescue dog from SPCA. So
oh, lovely.
It's beautiful.
And tell me, Vanessa, were you into all of this before you met Ryan, or is that just that Ryan just encouraged your love for sport, or how did it all start?
No, I've actually been sporty my whole life. I've started dancing and horse riding and swimming and athletics when I was like 4 years old.
Okay.
And it pretty much, it's been a huge part of my life for a long time. And when I was at varsity, having left school and I no longer had track athletics or hockey or netball,
sure.
And I wanted to try something different and keep myself busy and active and healthy and fit. I literally chose mountain biking. I was like, cool, I've never ever been mountain biking before. This is a sport I want to give a bash.
Okay.
And I actually remember the day really well. Sean Bardenhorst, who at the time was the editor of Bicycling magazine, he's now the editor of Tread magazine.
Yeah.
He took me to buy my first bike. And it was a Schwinn. It was like feels like it was 150 years ago. And I started riding, but really just socially and casually. And I entered the odd race, but I didn't take it seriously. It was really just for fun. And then I started taking my sport a little more seriously about 3 years ago, just before I met Ryan. And I was at the Knives and Oyster Festival.
Okay.
And I was doing the Big Five, and that's the Big Five basically is doing all the events or 5 of the 7 events that they offer.
Okay, so you were pretty serious then before then.
Yeah, so we met there. But that being said, he's been a huge influence on me, just taking it up a notch and
sure.
Just seeing the kind of dedication and he is. I've never met anybody like this in my life before. He is so focused and so dedicated to his career. I mean, I don't think I'd ever be able to do what he does and the kind of pressure he puts his body under. So
really?
He's a huge motivational factor, yeah.
Oh, no, that's great. But now, do you guys also spend time just relaxing, and will you have the odd burger and glass of wine?
Oh, yeah, for sure. And
Okay.
Last night we went to the it was an event, which usually is work related, but there's always lots of our friends there. We went to like the unveiling of a new Springbok jersey.
Oh, cool! Were you there?
Snacks and a couple of glasses of wine.
Oh,
yeah,
good.
It was really cool.
Oh, cool.
But then like at home, the last month I must say has been tough. We haven't spent any quality time together at all.
Has he been racing and you've been racing?
Well, we've both been traveling extensively. I actually did quite a hectic road tour called the Cape Relure a week before or 2 weeks before Epic.
Sure.
And then he was in Spain, and then I had literally just a few days off to pack before Epic, and then did Epic, and then my mum was here post Epic, and she was actually taking care of me because I had such bad flu.
Shame.
And then he went off to the US, and he only got back yesterday. So like we blocked our time this weekend, and I was like,
good.
Dude, we have to see each other tomorrow.
Oh.
We live in the same house, and I don't see you.
Oh, good. Well, I hope you have a really nice
we
weekend.
make time. Yeah, thanks. We make time for each other. And yeah, we often just have pizza and a glass of wine, watch some TV, and we do chill.
That's what us mere mortals want to hear.
Go.
And tell me, Vanessa, on the acting side of things, anything you're working on or any projects on that side?
Do you know what? It's still my biggest passion. I love being in front of the camera, whether it's photo shoots or filming for television or feature film. But there's very limited work in South Africa, and I've chosen to come back here. I mean, I lived in LA for a while. I was in London for some time as well. But
Sure.
This is home, and I want to be here at least for now. So the work, there is a lot of film work that comes to Cape Town and to South Africa, but that doesn't always mean that they're necessarily looking for a 30-something-year-old blonde.
No, sure.
There's
I know
only so
all
many
about
roles that could fit. Yeah, there's only so many roles. Yeah, you do know about it, exactly. There are only so many roles that fit your sort of description or
demographic,
whatever.
yeah.
And I mean, as you know, most of the television work is in Joburg. There's very little down here. And so, I mean, I still, whenever an opportunity comes up, for sure, I audition. There's actually been quite a bit of British work in Cape Town.
Nice.
But also, they never leave the meaty roles for South Africans.
For the South Africans, they go to the stars.
Actors,
no, sure.
They always bring the big actors with them, and then we get left with the extras roles, and I was an extra in my early 20s, and I was happy to do it, and not anymore.
You've got to draw the line in the sand at some stage, I understand.
Exactly.
But at least, you've got another passion that you're pursuing when the acting work isn't there, and then it leaves you flexible for when there is acting work. So it sounds like you've got it all worked out.
Exactly. And I still do, I'm still involved with all sorts of different things. I do a lot of voice work, lots of voiceovers. So
that's
within
always
the
good.
entertainment industry per se, I'm still doing lots of voice stuff for television and for radio, and corporate stuff as well. Like we film interviews and mountain biking and all sorts of things. So it's integrating both.
Yeah.
So I'm integrating my sport
Ideal.
into the film, and then we film all these things, and then they get shown at big conferences as motivational videos and that kind of thing to all the staff of the company. So yeah, life is very colourful, and no 2 days are the same.
Are the same.
Cool.
Yeah, you crave routine where others hate it.
Yeah, I actually do crave a little bit of routine. That's why I enjoy my training so much, because my training is very routine
and structured.
And day one you do 2 hours of this type of cycling. Tuesday you've got to do 3 hours of hill repeats. Wednesdays this, that, and that's quite cool.
Okay.
That's probably the only
you find your structure there. Cool. Vanessa, unfortunately, we're running out of time. I'd love to chat to you even more, but hopefully we can catch up with you again in the future. You've got a nice, relaxing weekend planned this weekend. What's the next race on the calendar?
I actually hadn't planned on any yet. I usually do the Simmons Challenge, which was last weekend. I did the race last year, but I decided to bunk and not do that one because I just needed a little bit more rest. And the next one I'll be doing is the Arabella Challenge, which is in 3 weeks' time. It's at the end of April, and it's at Arabella Hotel. It's a 2-day race on the Saturday and Sunday. It's a whole fun-filled weekend. They've got trail running races as well. So I'm looking forward to that. And I really wanted to do Transalp this year, which is obviously in the Alps, in July.
Wow.
But the thing is, I've got to rest my body at some point just a little because Transalp is a 7-day race.
Well, I'm glad to hear that you are looking after yourself and you are realizing that, everything.
I've got to press the stop button.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, no, I'll do it next year for sure. But we've got a lot of traveling coming up now as well. We're off to Australia next month for 2 weeks, and then we're in the States for the whole of June.
Wow, so big plans.
So so there's a lot of traveling, and I do race when I travel, but
Sure.
one day races. I don't think I've got it in me to do another 7-day race 2 months from now.
Well, look after yourself. Look after yourself. We want to chat to you after the next epic, the Cape Epic next year.
For sure, yeah. I'll keep in touch with you guys. I'll let you know if anything exciting is going on.
Please do, please do. And good luck with your busy day and enjoy your quality time with Ryan this weekend.
Thank you so
Tell
much.
Ryan we
Thanks
want
for
him on the
having me
show soon.
Yes, I'll tell him. for
Okay.
sure.
Cheers,
I will
Vanessa.
do.
Thanks a lot.
Cool. Keep well. Have a good weekend.
You too. Bye. Right, that's Vanessa Haywood chatting to us about all the races she's been doing, all the races she's got ahead, and about her recovery from the Cape Epic.
The Hayley O Show. Every Friday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Only on bulls.co.za.